You know what I think is a crazy concept? Genre fatigue. I've been playing turn-based RPGs ever since Pokemon Yellow on the Game Boy Color, and I can remember even back in Paper Mario, especially when I was playing it at that age, that I remember comparing it to chess, or at least video game chess. It's so crazy because kind of got tired of that formula around about no Persona 5 it came out. I think I finished Persona 5, but I left it alone for a very long time after I got far enough just because I was kind of tired of like RPGs just in general. I think it and E33 honestly broke the mold for me, and they showed me that it's so important to have other elements in the game that even add to that complexity, right? So where does Monster Hunter Stories 3 fit into that? And honestly, oh yeah, yeah, dang. It's good, man. It's good. I haven't had this much fun sinking time into an RPG in a long time. And alongside the general Monster Hunter depth that exists inside of this game, because it's beautiful, honestly, there's also like this very cool and complex layered strategy that exists inside the battles that I think is very, very refreshing. And I think that every single RPG fan that's coming back to this formula would really, really appreciate. I think that this overworld as well provides this crazy mix of exploration, hunting, and just the general use of your monsters for more than just fighting too. And like I really love that too. Let's go ahead and break it down, man. So the story is really, really good. I don't want to spoil it, but it's probably Fire Emblem Three Houses level. I think about like how video games make their stories, and I think about them close to like anime movies or anime episodes, or even just filler episodes for some of the games that don't even really try to make a good story. This is a really good story, and it's so beautiful because it's a story about your monsties, basically monsters that you bonded with, right? And the monsters that exist in the world. It's so crazy. It's so crazy because like you and this ragtag, scrappy group of miscreants are trying to solve another mystery that's happening in the Monster Hunter universe. So like every Monster Hunter fan that's already used to that kind of grave stakes story, you're in for a treat here because this one's probably the most intense story, the most emotional story that they've cooked up inside of Capcom, and I gotta give my hats off to them. It's really, really cool. Along with the way that the game and the story kind of translates into the overworld, right? Like you can kind of see it right with my palico on the back of this dragon, but it's really, really important that the monsters in this game all have so many different abilities, right? And it's so many of them in the game. I've already encountered at least 50. There's side quests that you eventually get in the game that asks you, hey man, go out there and just discover monsters. And it's so interesting because I'm at the 100 step right now, so there's at least 100 monsters inside of this game. But it's all about finding the perfect combination of your party of monsters that you have and just really making it your own game and just making them your own partners. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. I love the thought process that like, inside the overworld you can be playing with a monster, but you can also just very much switch on the fly. That's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so crazy because there are even differences as it pertains to them, right? So like the Rathalos, he gets farther distance flying than the Toby Kadachi, who, for the most part just kind of glides, right? And then you think about how it translates to even monsters that can't fly as well, right? Like riding my K9 right now wouldn't really do anything for me. But, by the time I land, I'm already there. It's so cool. It's so cool. And it's so fresh, too. And it's fire because you get to see all the world's monsters and small animals just move around in the game. And if you get close to them enough, they even give chase. And it's so crazy, especially if they're only hostile. There's other monsters in the game that exist, and some of them are hostile, some of them aren't. And it's such a healthy mix just to figure out what's going on inside the world, but also what's going on inside all these monsters' heads. It's so nuts. It's so nuts, especially thinking about how many of them are in the game, just in general, right? We ended up meeting the Tetranodon on stream one night, and I ended up seeing him in the game too, using his belly to attack us and everything. So it's really, really beautiful. It's really beautiful. And the process to getting new monsters is pretty fun too, that you see in the overworld. These monsters have like cave-like nests all around where you're supposed to like collect and hatch their eggs. So the species that you get is that monster that you were fighting over in the overworld, and it's pretty cool and it's pretty addicting too. The game even gives you 700 slots to like just go nuts with all the collecting that you want. It's so fire. It's so fire. And thinking about how differently the monsters really just interact and how many different moves they have, along with like what natural talents come with certain monsters, it's really cool thinking about how that translates into like the battle gameplay, right? And these battles are this really crazy spin on like all the old school formulas that we're used to, but with all kinds of new elements just only exclusive to this franchise, right? And it's really, really built around the weapons for the most part. The weapons and skill, basically your offensive abilities. It's so nuts because you carry three weapons of any combo into every single match, and each weapon has a basic attack and associated skills, all of which that subscribe to their rock paper scissors style of combat here, where you have power attacks, you have technical attacks, and you have speed attacks. Power beats technical, technical beats speed, and speed beats power. It's so crazy because along with your skills and your weapon, your Monty has skills and attacks exactly like that in the power, technical, and speed rock, paper, scissors formula. So it's really, really healthy to think about the thought process that you can cancel out the whole enemy's attack just by beating them at rock, paper, scissors. It's insane. It's insane. You definitely want to win those too because they also increase your super, and losses basically increase damage against you. And it's nuts because you go in the match with 3 lives between you and your Monstie, and there are definitely some of those attacks that are one hitters, and it's so interesting to think about how the game thought to give us 3 lives but also present us with these sometimes insurmountable odds, especially when it comes down to life management, right? Like there are some attacks that you just got to be used to losing life about, and that's just crazy to me. That leads to more strategy, and one of the more pro tips that I've developed in my mind of just going into battle with the monster that you already want out so that they can automatically do their moves and help fill your super gauge as much as you can, right? This super meter is named the kinship meter, and it basically gives you the ability to ride your monster and perform a super animation to like deal a ton of damage to the enemy. It's so nuts because I think every single monster in the game has their own very unique super animation, and you can even combine them with that partner that you take into battle. Most battles in this game are usually you, your Monstie, your partner, and their Monstie. So it's a really, really crazy mix of this most of the time 4v whatever on the other side, whether that be one huge monster, 3 normal monsters, or even if you're just getting jumped. It's really, really wild and it's really random. And these partners, right, all of them have their very different styles of gameplay, and their very different styles of monsters, and their very different weapons. So picking a favorite is so nuts. It's so nuts, especially even with your party and your partner, right? So final thoughts. Min-maxers and optimizers are going to really, really love this game, along with people that are so much fans of really, really good exploration too, because like this flying around, it's so cathartic. It's so relaxing just to be just to be a monster in Monster Hunter universe, right? Like, or at least to ride monsters in the Monster Hunter universe, right? I kind of pretend like I am the monster when it does come to being in the overworld, but that's part of the immersion that I think is so important when it comes down to these types of games, right? Like, knowing which areas are off limits and knowing which areas you can kind of over level yourself and become the apex predator about. It's so healthy. It's so healthy. We talked about it on stream one night about how much fun it is just to dig into Monster Hunter weapons and really explore the fun that does exist in these easy to access but hard to master forms of offensive combat. And a lot of that exists here too in this game as well. It's so crazy because I've actually been encouraged to play as pretty much every weapon on this game. And it's so nuts to collect parts. And in the mainline games, I try to stick with options that give me both defensive and offensive options. It's so crazy to play a turn-based Monster Hunter because you're kind of encouraged to play as every single weapon type on here as well, so that you can really just get a balance of all the different skills that they have. And they do have a lot, man. Speaking of those skills, thinking about your monsters, they can even swap skills. They have a method in this game where you just straight up swap skills between monsters, even blank ones. So you could theoretically load your Rathalos up with a water shot, and that works. That works. And you'll see the Rathalos perform the animation too. It's nuts, man. It's nuts. I also love the piece in the overworld where the game recognizes that collection or like piece farming is kind of a chore, but they make it easy and they make it fun for you. So like if they understand that a monster you're supposed to beat and a monster definitely just doesn't pose a real threat to you, you can just straight up go to them and just take them out just like that. It's so crazy because this process provides this beautiful feeding frenzy like mix in this game, and it's so nuts because you get to see all the different monsters that you can just take down off rip, right? Like these Rathians over here, right? Right. I just blew one of them out of the sky, right? Like, if you played Feed and Frenzy back in the past, let me know for real. But I love this. I absolutely love this. And if I had to give it something out of a 10, I'd probably give it 8 Rashads out of a 10, man, because this is a good game and it's something that I think that every single turn-based RPG fan should experience. It's a goodie. It's a goodie. I also really love this, and this is such an addicting process that I'm probably going to spend most of my hours just running around collecting eggs, but just mossing monsters as well. So like, hey, if you enjoyed this review, man, let us know what you want to see in the future. Ooh-wee. We got a lot of different multiplayer games that's coming out, and so many of them I want our opinions on. So many of them I want your opinions on. If you like Monster Hunter, or if you like Monster Hunter turn-based games, hey man, let me know. Shout me out in the comments. In the meantime, between time, we appreciate, we thank y'all for listening to the next review. Peace.